Welcome to a place where morals are loose.
She's just 16 years old.
And maritime law is looser. Yacht Rock Radio. Sirius XM's Yacht Rock Radio makes a perfect summer day more perfecter. Yacht Rock Radio. Just when you thought it couldn't get any smoother, it got more smoother.
I hope you've enjoyed the smooth sounds of Yacht Rock Radio introducing the Corum Admirals Cup. So welcome to another episode of It's About Time. Boy, we've just been rolling them off 1, 2, 3 this week between me and Jared. And I gotta tell you, it's been a lot of fun. As the summer is coming to a close, we're getting deeper and deeper into September. And it is now time to go into one of my favorite watch brands, especially the watch we're talking tonight, is the Corum Admirals Cup. If you saw the opening preview, there's a lot of Yacht Rock Radio from Sirius XM, and this is the watch they would advertise on that station if they could, because it does represent what is called the Admirals Cup. The Admirals Cup is a sailing expedition and competition between the Norwegian countries in Europe. It's happened every year since 1957, and the Admirals Cup as a commemorative edition came out by Corum in 1960. Corum has been around since 1955. They do have a variety of models. In addition to the Admirals Cup, they have the Bubble, the Buckingham, the Romulus, the Golden Bridge, Tourbillon, their coin watch, in which they use a $20 Double Eagle or $10 Liberty gold coin, and the Artisan timepieces. So that's basically the lineup that they do have, but tonight we're going to focus on the Admirals Cup. Okay, this is their signature line. The one I have, which is what's on my wrist, you've probably seen a couple times from episodes, I'd say, within the past year. So previous episodes have featured this piece. And there you go. There's the Admirals Cup. You can see over there representing each hour is a country based on each point around the bezel, which is their signature look. This one that I have with the black face is the date edition with the sapphire crystal, as all of them do have. This is the 38 millimeter, about, I'd say it's at least 10 to 15 years old. I am the second owner of this piece, and they're known for a couple of things. Number one, they're known for their look. Nobody has the look that Corum has. Now, Spinnaker, which I have mentioned in previous episodes as well, copies their look, kind of like Invicta would copy an Omega or a Rolex look. So if you want a cheaper version of it, most of them do only come in quartz from Spinnaker, but they do copy the Admirals Cup look from Corum. So there's a cheaper option if you want to take advantage of that in the $100 to $300 range. But back to Corum. They did invent this look, and they've had it for several decades. Another thing they're known for is their band design. And if you can look at the band design over here, these are intertwining links with each other. And what's nice about that is I get all the time, give me a nice watch that doesn't pull the hair on my wrist out, because people always, especially guys, go through this all the time. And this is a prime example of a watch that will not do that. They have integrated this band design beautifully, so you don't have any problems. One of the most comfortable watches I own, definitely in my top 5. It's been there for quite a while, and I don't see it leaving anytime soon. The other nice thing about especially the older Admirals Cups is they do have, as you can see, the adjustable clasp, which a lot of watches have gotten rid of these days. So if your wrist swells up in the summertime or shrinks in the wintertime, you can adjust the watch to the temperature condition to make it more comfortable for your wrist. So I do like that as well. Another unique thing, okay, is the back of the Admirals Cup. Okay, if you can see the rotor on the back of this watch, it does have the flags of the countries painted on them, which is really cool, and it's something very unique. It has a partial skeletonized back, okay, and most of them still have that to this day. The sizes of Admirals Cup vary. The smallest size is about 35 millimeters. That was when they first came out. It's more of their vintage pieces. This one that I have here from the early to mid 2000s is 38 millimeters, and they go all the way up to 48 millimeters. So I will show you now an example of what today's Admirals Cup looks like compared to the one I just showed you, which is mine, which is about 15 years old. So that is today's Admirals Cup. Okay, you can see it clear as day right there, about $2,700. This one's about a 40 millimeter. If you take a look at it, basically it changed its link design. It's a little different than the older vintage ones, but not much. The countries are less prominent, and they have gone to numerals more than they have gone to the regular sticks for the representation of the hours. And they even have, what's good about Corum, again, they're meant for sailing, they're meant to go underwater, so they have two different straps. They have your stainless steel strap, which I just showed you, and they have a leather or a rubber option, which is this one right here. Okay, so you can see this is a limited edition to 200. This is a 48 millimeter watch. So this is for somebody with a much larger wrist. It's about $3,800. So it's quite more expensive because of the rarity of the piece. They have a bunch of different designs. I tried to show you quite a few of them in the intro with Yacht Rock Radio. And so that is, I'm trying to give you different examples of what the Corum Admirals Cup model has to offer, both back then and currently. They were actually bought out in 2013, so they were primarily Swiss up until the China Hayden Holdings Limited Group bought them along with Eterna, which is now called City Champ Watch and Jewelry Group. So they do have a new conglomerate that owns them. Not surprising, most of the watch brands these days aren't by themselves. They usually belong, as you've heard of Swatch, which owns Omega and several others. They got bought out as well. I don't think the pieces of today hold true to the pieces that they used to come out with. Like, for instance, what I'm not seeing is the fact that, especially this one, if you can see right here, okay, there's nothing that says COSC certified, okay, which mine clearly does. So most of the automatic Corums from 10, 20 years ago, COSC certified all over the place. Today, you don't see that. It's not on the watch. Maybe some are, some aren't. If they're not saying it on the watch, that's usually not a good sign, because that's always something that you would want to advertise for accuracy standards, to let people know that this is a reputable watch and it's been made with the utmost importance in quality and craftsmanship. So again, I think the designs are very interesting in the current models. I don't think they're as nice as the current designs. If you are interested in the vintage Corum Admirals Cup, the best place to get them is eBay. And you can get them anywhere, usually between $1,500 and $2,000. Brand new, they were about $3,500 to $4,000. Before I wrap this up, I want to show you the coolest part about the Admirals Cup, especially the vintage piece, is the fact that their luminescence is out of this world. I'm going to show you that really quickly. It doesn't take long to charge this baby up. So let's see how this sucker does. And you get a good chance to see exactly what this watch is made of. So let me turn the light out. And there you go. Okay, you could really see that sucker glow in the dark. And this, again, outshines a lot of my dive watches that I have. And for quite longer, too. It doesn't go as long as the ball watch, obviously, because the ball watch has tritium tubes. But usually it's good for a good 6 to 8 hours. But it is some piece. I used this one on the Luminescence episode last year with Jared as well. So, guys, thank you for joining me for this review of the Corum Admirals Cup line and this watch in general. It's a great piece, and finally, I just wanted to hit on one other little topic. We just did demagnetization. Both I did an episode and Jared did an episode on that, and I got a couple questions on why wasn't I wearing one of my watches, which is specifically the Omega 8500, that was already an example of a demagnetized watch. Well, it's pretty simple. I didn't do it for a specific purpose. I wanted to show you an example of a watch that was susceptible to magnetization. If I was going to show you a watch that couldn't be magnetized, then why even do it? Why even do the episode, right? That's my thinking. I wanted to show you something which is 99% of the watches out there can be magnetized, and quite easily. Therefore, I wanted to show you how to fix that problem. I didn't want to show you a watch that I couldn't fix that problem with. So, again, just to clear that up for everybody. And moving forward, Jared and I will be back on Tuesday. I have no idea what him and I are going to be talking about. It may be the episode he keeps talking about on what are some of the best and worst values of the watches that are currently on the market, and we may get into that. So thanks guys again for joining me on this episode of It's About Time, and we'll see you in another few days. Okay, so stay cool and stay sexy. Adios, people. I'll see you on another episode of It's About Time.